I'm John from Columbus Public Library, and this is Chess at the Library. In this video, we'll learn some of the elements of checkmate. In every game of chess, the ultimate goal is to checkmate your opponent. It doesn't matter how many pieces you capture or how clever your opening move is if you can't pull off checkmate. The rules of checkmate even allow a player to suddenly win when it may seem like they were losing just a moment ago. In our first chess video, we went over the basic idea of checkmate. If you're new at chess, we highly recommend watching that first. But let's do a quick review. In chess, if a piece is able to capture another piece, then that's called an attack. When a king is under attack, then the king is in check. And when a king is in check, then that king's player must immediately get out of check. If it is impossible for that player to escape check, then that's called checkmate, and the attacking player wins. There are 3 ways to escape check. Capture the attacking piece, move the king to a safe square, and move a piece between the king and the attacker to block it. When none of these options are available, then that's checkmate. Let's take a look at some examples. In our first scenario, things aren't looking so good for white. White only has 1 king, while black has a king, a queen, and a rook. And it's black's turn to move. So, can black pull off checkmate? Again and again, I'll see new players flounder in scenarios just like this. Even though black has a guaranteed win, they just don't know what moves to make. First, let's take a look at what not to do. The worst move would probably be this. The queen moves to check the king, but she forgot to bring backup. So now the king can just easily capture the enemy queen, and he's escaped check and dealt a blow to black. Another common mistake would be to move the queen right here. This also checks white, and white can't capture the queen, but the white king can easily just move right here to escape. And then the queen will move here to check the king again, and then he'll move back here, and then this goes back and forth, leading nowhere. So how does black win? An experienced chess player can probably see it already. And if you don't see it, then don't worry, it's not some kind of magic vision that only grandmasters have. It's just a simple logical strategy. The first thing you need to understand is that no piece can checkmate a king alone. As we saw earlier, a king can often just escape or capture to get out of check. If black wants to pull this off, they're going to have to get their rook involved. They can move their rook right here. Remember that no player can move to put their own king in check. That means that now the white king doesn't have anywhere to escape to, and his only option is to move right here. But that doesn't do him much good, because now the enemy queen can move here, and that's checkmate. Or let's rewind for a second, and imagine that instead the black queen moved right here. That puts the white king in check, but it's not quite checkmate. He can move right here to escape, but she can move here, and that's it. Now you may notice that this position looks very similar to black's blunder from our earlier example. The only difference is that now the black queen has her rook to protect her. The white king can't capture her because if he did, he would put himself in check by the rook. One of the key principles of checkmate is that you always want to attack all the squares around your opponent's king before dealing the final blow. That way the king has no escape routes. Let's look at another example. This is a very common endgame scenario, and it stumps a lot of new players. But if white plays correctly, then they have a guaranteed checkmate. It's a little bit long, so I'm just going to speed through the moves so you can get the big picture. The key is that white is using both the king and the rook to push the black king into a corner. Once all of black's escape routes are blocked, then the rook moves to make that final checkmate. Now let's look at another common scenario. Right now, do you think that white can checkmate black in one move? The answer is no. If white moves the rook here, then the king can just capture it. What about in this game? Can white checkmate black in one move? The answer is yes. If white moves the rook right here, the enemy king cannot capture it, and he has no escape route. So what about here? The answer is no. Black now has a rook defending his back rank, so white's rook will just get captured. What about now? The answer is yes, white can checkmate. White now has two rooks attacking the square, and black only has one rook to defend it. When black captures, white can just capture it back, and that's the end of the game. Now let's take a look at one more scenario. This one's a little bit different. Do you think that white can checkmate black? The answer is yes. If the knight moves right here, then black is in check and has no escape. The knight is a unique piece because its attacks cannot be blocked, because a knight can hop over other pieces. If you found this video useful, then you'll love some of our library's chess books. Bobby Fischer Teaches Chess is especially good for learning checkmate patterns, and it's very friendly to beginners. If you want to put some of your new knowledge to work, then try playing a game with us on lichess.org. Our team is called Chattahoochee Valley Libraries. Keep following Chattahoochee Valley Libraries for more videos.
We are springing into summer learning at the Chattahoochee Valley Libraries, and the program you just attended is one of the ways you can earn completions. Just go to cvlga.org and look for Spring into Summer Learning. You can register yourself and your family online, and then start reading and attending our online events. That's all you have to do. We're giving away weekly gift certificates, and every completion you make enters you into a grand prize drawing for tablets, games, gifts, and more. Remember, you have to register to win. cvlga.org, and we'll see you online again real soon.